Our sea lion and seal presentation. My name is Beverly and I'm one of the mammalogists here at the aquarium. So that just means that it's my lucky job to care for the animals in front of you as well as the sea otters inside. We're getting ready to dive later if you're wondering why I'm in this lovely outfit here. Anyways, we get a lot of questions from our guests as a trainer, and one of the most common questions we get is why we do training. Why don't we just toss the fish in there and let them feed themselves? Well, there's actually three main reasons why we train. And the first two are for physical exercise and mental stimulation. So how many of you go to school? How about the gym or recess? All right, yeah. So just like you have recess and you're challenging yourself in school, we want to make sure we're challenging our animals as well. Out in the wild, they're going to be getting away from predators and finding their own food. And since here we have no predators and all their food is brought to them in lovely shiny buckets, we have to offer them new ways to learn and exercise. Now, our third reason why we train is for something called husbandry, and that is just a fancy word of saying animal health care. So we train our animals in order to take better care of them. Once we go in there, you might notice us doing a lie-down position, and that's what allows us to inspect their bodies, make sure they have no cuts or scrapes on them. Also, our veterinarians may come in and do a more thorough examination, something like an X-ray or even ultrasound procedure. Now we have young, old, blind animals, so we have to make sure that each one of their training sessions is unique to that individual animal. Now at this time, I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic back over, but before I do, we just want to thank you for spending your day at the aquarium. Your admission today helps care for all of our animals, so on behalf of myself, the staff, and the animals, we want to thank you and hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Alright, good afternoon everyone. How's everyone doing today? Good, everyone nice and hot? Yeah, really nice and hot in here. Alright, well, we'd like to welcome you to our seal and sea lion presentation. Before we begin, I need all of you guys over there against that acrylic window. You guys need to scooch back for me. We can't have anybody against this acrylic window. We can't have you guys sitting there. Yeah, you guys need to move back for me. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Well, in this particular exhibit, we have a mixture of California sea lions and 3 Pacific Harbor seals in here. And as an educator, I find people have a real hard time telling the difference between these guys. So I'm going to make you guys experts on how to tell the difference. Now, here at the Aquarium of the Pacific, you guys can actually cheat. Our sea lions and our Pacific Harbor seals are actually colored accordingly. So all of the sea lions that you see here have a beautiful brown color all over their body. And that's what the sea lions have. So right here in the center we have Miller, and Miller has that beautiful brown color all over his body. Now the Pacific I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, yeah. And the Pacific Harbor seals in here, these guys have black and white spots all over their bodies. So that's one way you can tell the difference between these guys. Sea lions have that pretty chocolate brown. Pacific Harbor seals have those black and white spots. Now there are some other ways that we can tell the differences as well, and this is going to be a lot easier now that the trainers have come into the environment. Keep your eyes out for those behaviors that Beverly was talking to you guys a little bit about before as well. Now also in here, the sea lions, if you look on the sides of their head, looks like we have a sea lion coming up right here on center deck. You look on the side of his head, he has ear flaps, kind of like how you and I have ears. Take a look at Parker. Parker is over on the left-hand side up on those rocks there. Here, giving you guys a wave over there. He has those ear flaps, kind of like how you and I have ears. Well, Pacific Harbor seals, they don't have that. Looks like the Pacific seals are all the way in the back there. If you can see them, that's great. If not, that's okay. These guys don't have ear flaps. They basically just have little holes on the sides of their head. So that's one way that you can tell the difference as well. Now, another way is vocalization. There's Parker there for you, giving an example. That barking sound that you're also familiar with, that is coming from a California sea lion. Again, all these guys right here on center deck, these are sea lions. In the far back, Pacific Harbor seals, they don't usually make noise. Sometimes they will if they feel threatened or scared, but usually you won't be able to hear it unless you're really close, and you don't get really close to the Pacific Harbor seals here in this particular exhibit. Here's one coming right up here on the deck. This is Troy. Troy's the Pacific Harbor seal again. That black and white pretty color there getting showed up by Parker. Parker is doing his pillar behavior. Beverly said, asked you guys guys, if you went to the gym, this is like Parker's gym here. He's jumping up out of the water, clearing out all of his fins, getting that heart pumping, all that blood moving throughout his body, having his muscles move. Very important behaviors going on in here. Now again, take a look at Troy. Troy does not, he just did a big rollover for you there. He doesn't have those big front flippers. Now California sea lions, they have those big front flippers. So keep a lookout over here on the left-hand side. We got some sea lions over here. You can see they have those big flippers. These guys are all part of the order Pinniped. Let me hear everyone say Pinniped. Pinniped. You separate that word out. Pinna means fin, ped means foot. So both seals and sea lions are fin-footed animals. There's some porpoising behavior going on in there for those guys. Again, more of that physical exercise, getting them to jump out of the water. Now these guys are mammals just like you and me, both seals and sea lions, and that means they have to meet 5 criteria in order to be a mammal. One of these criteria is they must have hair, they give live birth, they feed their babies milk, they breathe air, and they're warm-blooded animals. That's very important. There's Parker again, showing off that sea lion bark for you on the left-hand side. Now, warm-blooded, what that means, they have to keep the same internal body temperature regardless of what it is on the outside. So these guys are maintaining an internal body temperature in rather cold waters. So they do have some pretty good adaptations in order to survive. You will notice they have big, thick layers of blubber all over their body. Yes, look at all that blubber going on around in there. Now, what do you guys think they like to do to get so big? Eat. That's right. What do you guys think they like to eat? Fish. That's right. All this food in here is restaurant quality seafood. That means if you go order a seafood dinner down any restaurant on Ocean Boulevard, you guys are getting the same quality food as these guys are eating here. So they have it very, very good here. Now again, keeping your eyes peeled for all the different behaviors that Beverly was talking about. These guys, lots of physical exercise. You can see the trainers pushing the animals out, telling them to go to other sides of the exhibit, getting things coming all the way back. Also mental stimulation, getting them to think through those puzzles, as well as to participate in their very own health care. You will notice that the trainers are able to touch these animals in here, and the way they're able to do this is presenting that trust with these, and also through something called positive reinforcement. Basically what that means, when the animal does something correctly, something that we want, they get something that they want. We already said that that was fish. These guys are getting a lot of that fish. Again, called that positive reinforcement, making sure these animals are getting nice and positive in this environment that these guys have. Now it sounds like they're having it pretty good here. These guys are getting restaurant quality seafood. They're getting free health care. They get to play with all their trainers in here. I'm sure they love that. But these guys, some of them aren't so lucky. The ones out in the ocean, they have to live in things that look like this. This is a picture that was taken out in Rainbow Harbor. Rainbow Harbor is right outside our front door here at the aquarium. And this is a picture of what, folks? What is in this picture? Trash, pollution, garbage. Do these things belong in the ocean? No, these things belong in a trash can. Want to make sure we're picking up that trash, making sure it ends up in the proper trash receptacles. Again, if the ocean looks like this, we don't have to go to the beach that day. Unfortunately, these guys live in it, so want to make sure we're keeping it nice and beautiful for them. You folks are definitely doing your parts here today. By purchasing your ticket, you are helping us purchase that restaurant quality seafood in there for those guys, so I'm sure they very much appreciate that. We'd like to thank you guys so much for joining us here today at the Aquarium of the Pacific, and specifically our seal and sea lion presentation. At 3:30, there's going to be a feeding up at Ray Pool. It's directly up these stairs to my right-hand side here, and they will be selling food if you want to help out with that feeding. It is first come, first serve. Little cups of, I think there's shrimp in there, about $5. If you go up there, you can feed those animals. Again, it is first come, first serve, 3:30, about 5 minutes from now. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you.